the Icons of Real Estate podcast, the flagship show of the #1 real estate podcast network, where real estate agents come to grow. Whether you're looking to scale your business, expand your network, or stay sharp with insider knowledge, you found your go-to daily dose of real estate gold. Our hosts sit down with the industry's top producers and rising stars, sharing raw stories, winning strategies, and the real lessons that create icons. With over 500 episodes and 70-plus shows in our network, we're not just another podcast. We're your competitive edge in real estate. Tune in, level up. Become an icon of real estate.
Hello, Bailey. Welcome to the
Hi.
Icons of Real Estate podcast. And I'm really excited about this episode. I was just telling you in the background about it. And let's start talking about your move, okay? What made you decide to leave Sacramento and, start all over and all the way down in San Diego?
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. I'm really excited. My move actually was pure just wanting to leave the city I was in. When you're selling real estate, you're really selling your city. And I felt deep down that I don't really like this city. So it was really hard for me. I was like, I'm trying to sell this city and I don't even like living in it myself. So I'm not from Sacramento. I had moved there in 2020 and got into real estate in 2021. And then by 2023, those 2 years where I was kind of in real estate, I was like, I think, I have a lay of the land now. I know what I'm doing in real estate. I felt like I had to stay a little, but I'm like, I just gotta go. I wanted to stay in California. So ultimately I chose the best city in all of California, San Diego, and it's been amazing.
Nice. And yeah, it's a very quick, even sales advice, right? If you don't believe in what you sell, it's gonna make 1,000 times harder, right?
Oh my
So
gosh,
I
it's
do
it's so true.
understand.
Yes, yes.
And what was kind of the reaction, from people around you, your mentor, your friends, your colleagues, saying like, "Oh, you're living and you're studying in San Diego." Like, did they call you crazy? Did they call you ambitious? What's the positive? What's the negative there?
Yeah, I think I got a lot of positives. My mentor definitely didn't want me to go. I was working with her very closely and tight knit. And everything I know in this business is because of her. But ultimately, I was just like, I can't live here anymore. And so everyone really was supportive. There were a few that were like, it's really expensive in San Diego. You're moving to like the most expensive city. Are you going to be okay? I got a couple of those, but for the most part, people were really excited and maybe even a little jealous because a lot of people in Sacramento specifically know that San Diego is just amazing. Yeah.
Okay,
So
I just
it was good.
want to clarify for any Sacramento lovers here that we don't mean any offense. I mean, at least I don't. Bailey seems like she's trying to play around.
Yeah.
But
No, I think the culture in Sacramento is amazing. I mean, obviously they're the home of the Kings and, Sacramento, I had a great time. It was a fun era of my life. But ultimately when it came to selling real estate, I'm like, I can't sell a city I'm not obsessed with. And ultimately that's all it came down to. So all my Sacramento people, I love you so much, but just not for me. And that's fine.
okay, I think that was good enough to save your skin. That was good, Bailey.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank God.
So, what was your first months? Kind of guide us through in a quick way. Like, what was the setting up in San Diego? And this just not the setting up and with the new house, but it's actually setting up your real estate business there. How was the first deal there? Like, tell us, guide us through that.
Yeah, so the first, I would say 2 months, or actually 3 months were really tough. Obviously, you move to a city and you don't know anybody. It's going to be tough, especially in this business where it's all about who you know. and your sphere of influence. So relocating, it's quite literally starting over. And I knew that. So when I was leaving Sacramento, I made sure that I had a savings in place that I could rely on, because you only get paid when sell a
Exactly.
house. And I will say, I sold my first house pretty quickly. I think I was about 5 months in, and it was my career highest sale at the time.
Oh,
I was like,
nice.
oh my God, I just moved
Nice
to San
introduction.
Diego. I mean, well, and I had realized moving here that the average home sale price is, double to triple what it is in Sacramento. And so that really validated, okay, I made a great decision. I mean, I just made my highest sale. What I will say really helped is, I moved from one team and to another when I relocated cities. I feel like when you move to a new city, joining a team is really smart for the first year or so. My team lead, when I first moved here, he was really helpful, and we would sit down and he taught me all the different cities and areas of San Diego and what they mean, where the hot spots are. And that was really helpful. Of course, I did my own due diligence as well. I started social media really heavy when I moved here, and I started acting like an expert immediately. I mean, I was a couple months in and I was already saying the best coffee shops, the best restaurants you should go to in San Diego. I mean, to this day, people are shocked. I think I'm going up on 2 years in a couple months, and people are so shocked. They're like, "You've only been here for like not even 2 years, and you've been to 10 times the amount of restaurants, and ever like all the hot spots. Like that's kind of crazy." So I would say, the biggest thing is moving to a city and finding a team that can help you learn and grow, and on top of that, taking it upon yourself to really, really, I mean, I was never not doing anything. I was always learning something about the city, and so that was major.
Yeah, and it's you act until a certain point that people think that you know it, right? And
Fake it till you make it.
because especially around real estate, people, they do want a local expert, right? They don't want people that they need to go to Google Maps to go to the closest supermarket, right?
Exactly. Well, and one of the first things I did was change my phone number as well. I was like, you know what?
Okay,
I knew I
crossing
wanted to
crossing all
stay.
the crossing all the T's.
Yes, and I will say in real estate, it really does make a difference when you have a local phone number. Because when I was working in Sacramento, I had an Oregon number, which is where I'm from, and people would not answer my calls because of that. So it's big.
Exactly. I was gonna ask if you had some advice for people relocating, because we all know how big of a portion of agents fail in real estate, right? I think it's about 80 something percent they fail in the first 2 years, and you were ambitious enough to not just do it once but do it all over again, right? It's like you have a death wish or something. So what you were talking about, obviously, like, just so I can go through like the two advices that you already gave, and I just want to see if I can squeeze one more out of you. So the first one, advice for relocating as a real estate agent: don't keep your phone number, get the local one. And then the other one is to join the team, right? Not just because of the culture, but also for, I imagine, the social aspect as well. And that'll be kind of the easiest shortcut to understanding the market with people around you. Well, if you had to add like a third advice for agents relocating, cities, or even relocating states, what would that be?
Yeah, I mean, the third and actually the number one, the biggest in my opinion, is really just showing up and getting out, whether that's online or in person. I am online every single day, whether that's just a story or a post. I try to post like 5 times a week, and I have a story up every day. I mean, people see my name consistently, but not only online, in person as well. Try to go to as many events as I can. And especially like with posting on social media comes, invitations to go to events. But yeah, just even if it's company events, I mean, joining that team was really good because I was introduced to a lot of people in the company as well, So yeah, just showing up to everything you can. is going to be the biggest thing, because the more people see your name, the more it, sticks, and they know what you do, and they see you around, and they're like, wow, she is putting in the work, and people reward you for that.
Yeah, because that shows that you're not just there ready as a human being, just to, oh, Bailey is alive. No, that's not what people think. No,
Yeah.
Bailey is alive and she's ready to make it to the business, right?
Yes.
And yeah, that was I did forget that you gave the other advice, which is to go to as many restaurants as you can, right?
Yeah.
So that's the last advice.
Yes, that's like really the nuggets there. It's show up online, show up in person, utilize, people to learn and grow, and change the phone number. Yeah. Those
Yeah.
are those are the nuggets.
Awesome. And yeah, we're going into the second topic or chapter of this episode that aligns with what you're doing with your business, which is one of your secret weapons, which is social media, right? With Instagram. I want to understand before we get into it. Was this something that you started back in Sacramento, or was this something that you kind of went full nitrous in San Diego?
Yeah, I mean, technically, I grew up with social media. I remember when Instagram came out, and I remember when it was just a single photo you would share, and it was typically of your food or your
Hmm.
shoes. I remember Instagram. I remember when Instagram started stories, and everyone was like, oh my God, they're copying Snapchat. So, I've kind of
Hmm.
evolved with social media, which I would say is definitely a benefit. However, I wasn't using it as a business. In Sacramento, still, I wasn't really utilizing it as a business. I was just posting, when I wanted here and there, and it really didn't have much thought to it. Um, as soon as I moved to San Diego is when I would say that I really started utilizing it as a business tool. Um, and really, it came down to selling the city, showing what the housing market looks like. Here's what you can get for X amount of dollars. Here's what a day in the life looks like. I would say, the evolvement and success from social media really started when I moved to San Diego.
And that's like a lot of people use it for personal reasons, right? It's that thing, and a lot of people are content consumers instead of being content creators.
Yeah,
I like to be on the other side. I even put a little 30-minute limit that I have on Instagram every day. Just try to keep
that's smart.
sane. But a lot of agents are scared to show their personal life online, right? And you told me that you show a good chunk of it. I
Yeah.
check on your Instagram, and it wasn't all about real estate. So like, what is kind of like an optimal balance that you would think between personal and professional content?
Yeah, it's really just, Instagram is a place that people go to. Not only is it the modern day business card, is really what I call it. It's your resume. It's your business card. People are using Instagram and TikTok instead of Google if they want to
Hmm.
look, someone up. But it's really just all about you. It's not all about what you do. You're not going to necessarily a doctor's Instagram page and wanting to see all of that. It's really, you want to kind of find that balance. I don't have a specific, ratio that I use. I would say a majority of it is, revolved around real estate. And even if it's not, I will, always throw some tidbits or like comments in there that, people always know. But, people really feel like they want to hire you when they feel like they know you, right? So I recently got engaged, and so I posted my engagement photos. Um, and people love that. And then they stop me on the street or whenever they see me, and they tell me congratulations, and stuff like that. Or I've even posted, like, you know, I love to post pictures of my dog, and people love that. People actually recognize my dog in public. One time my boyfriend, or now fiance, was walking our dog, and someone approached him and said, "Oh my God, is that Bean? Are you Bailey's, like, you know, fiance or whatever?" And it's just so funny because people really resonate and are attracted to people that they feel like they know. even if they don't. And it's the weirdest thing, but it's so true. So yeah, I mean, when there's real estate agents out there that think that it has to be strictly business, I tend to disagree. And I know that I had mentioned, like, I started, using Instagram as a business. And, that doesn't mean I'm only showing business, to that point. So I think that showing people what your days look like, I mean, and your day isn't always filled with real estate. When I post a day in the life video, maybe I'm getting my hair done, and then I have an appointment, and then I'm going and I'm just going to the park, maybe, or maybe I'm just going on a walk, and then maybe I have another appointment, and people like to see that, So I just, yeah, I like to tell people, incorporate all parts of your life. People want to see your family, your at home life. They want to see what you're doing at work and, your social life. So yeah, I don't have an exact ratio, but throwing everything in there is definitely the key, because people want to get to know you.
Exactly. And well, congratulations on your engagement, Bailey. And yeah, as you're saying, I think it's like throw as much as you can out there, but then again, don't feel overwhelmed with the pressure of, because you control what you share. Okay,
Yeah.
if you don't want to share a picture of your dog, hey, nobody's telling you to, right? You
Yeah.
can share a picture of your cat instead. It's you
Yes.
do control the narrative, right? And that's what people sometimes they think is like, oh no, I don't want to show my personal life. I don't want to show this. I don't want to show. You don't have to. You can
Yeah.
just show whatever you go to the beach and do workout. Like you don't need to share that you spend 7 hours on the couch watching Netflix. Okay, you don't need to share that. Everyone knows you did. Everyone does
Yeah.
that, but you don't need to
Well,
share that, right?
and one thing I will say is that authenticity is bigger now than ever. The most liked and engaged videos for me personally tend to be the ones that aren't professional. They're taking on my phone. Um, and, sometimes people do like to see that you're doing nothing. I mean, to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes like sitting on the couch, people, it's like everyone does it. And
It
so,
humanizes you. It humanizes you.
it
Yeah.
it humanizes you, it makes you relatable, and I will say the more relatable you are, the more people are gravitated towards you. If someone thinks that you live this perfect life and you're never sitting down, they might not resonate with that, and they might not be interested in what you have to do or say, because they're like, that's just like not realistic. So I would actually encourage being your full authentic self. Just share your life online as if you're just documenting it for your future self. And so I think that authenticity and being relatable is the biggest key in, today's online world. So, I would say just literally throw everything out there, even if you are working from home. And I've even showed where I'm sitting on the couch working, and I'm like, yep, I'm lazy today, and I'm gonna sit on the couch and I'm gonna work from here. And there's nothing anyone can say about it, because I run my own business. But yeah, I think it's like people love the authenticity.
Nice. Yeah, like being
Yeah,
approachable as a real estate agent, you have to.
exactly.
Doesn't really matter if you have 50,000 followers, if then people are afraid to speak to you, right?
Yeah.
I'm curious. Even people. They, of course, the views and the likes and the comments and the shares. They're all metrics, right? Which they're metrics that they matter for the algorithm. They matter to scale some content. Of course, talking to brands and people also obviously they see you as an authority, but what real estate agents are really interested in is actually closing deals, selling
Yes.
houses. I gotta ask you, like, how much of your business today is coming from Instagram? I imagine you have other sources, but how much of it today comes from Instagram, and kind of how does it work?
Yeah, so it's loaded in the sense that my short and direct answer would probably be 80%.
Mm,
And
that's a
that's,
lot.
yeah, well, and I'll explain. I don't mean that 80% of people, like my leads, come from people DMing me. I think that 85-90% of my business comes by referral. And I think that people send me those referrals because they see me online. And yes, I do. I mean, I do get those DMs as well. Um, A lot of times it's buyers, like, hey, I would love for you to represent me in the purchase of my home. I've been following you for a while. I do
Mhm.
get those messages, but I think a majority of my referrals come from me showing up online. And a couple people have said that's why. A couple people, haven't. They'll just say, hey, I have, someone in your area. Can you represent them? But I strongly believe that it's because I'm online every single day. I'm top of mind. People know exactly where I live and they know exactly what I do. And so when they think of, a friend or a family member who needs help with real estate in San Diego, I am always top of mind. And that has, I mean, it does. It comes from my online presence. So that's why I say 80%, even though it doesn't mean that I'm getting just direct DMs from clients, but my referrals.
No, I totally understand that, and that's
Yeah.
the thing about the online presence. Even if you're betting on social media or betting on your website or betting on a podcast, it's there's always going to be a portion of your business that indirectly was generated through your content that you might
Yeah.
not be able to attach to that specific content. Like, oh, that was that reel that sold me the house. Like, very rarely you can say that, but maybe it was a specific content that opened someone's eyes and be like, oh yeah, like, oh, my cousin is looking for a realtor. Like, let me actually give him Bailey's account, right?
Yes.
So I do fully understand that, and it's great that you have that aspect of it, because sometimes people are like, oh, I've only sold one house from Instagram from people that messaged me, but it's so much more important than that.
Yeah, and it's just so much more than just a direct DM. And those are amazing. I do love when, clients find me on Instagram
It's like,
and
it
DM me.
works.
Yes, I'm like, okay, yay. But no, I think a lot of the referrals are because of that. And so I just encourage, no matter what it is, some days, and you see those charts out there where it talks about showing up every day, but it doesn't always have to be 100%. So even if you show up online and you're like literally taking a day off, maybe you're at the beach all day, show it.
Yeah.
Just show it. And that's what it's hard for some reason. And I don't know why this is such a stigma in real estate agents' minds. Because I know that for sure I was told, from a previous mentor that it needs to be real estate. Like it needs to be 100% real estate. I'm like, but I just like don't agree. And it's really paid off and it shows. I even have like a following now because a lot of my audience is San Diego locals and that's what I want. Um, and so I try not to bombard them with real estate content. I want them to see that I'm just, also a 25-year-old girl living in San Diego. I'm relatable. And so I think it's a big, big part of it.
Yeah. But let's go then. We obviously know that this is a very important portion of your business, and then putting yourself out there, and obviously generating leads, generating referrals. And you've said on our pre-interview that cold calling gives you the chills.
Oh God. Yeah.
I can see it now. So, but do you do any traditional prospecting at all? And
No.
what's your thoughts around it? And try not to annoy a lot of real estate agents with your answer, okay, Ben?
I'll try. No, yeah, I don't knock anyone for doing stuff like that. I think it's a lot of people find success from it, and that's actually amazing. I do actually know agents that I've talked to plenty of times that say, yeah, cold calling like really works, or door knocking really works for me. And I will never knock something if I haven't tried it. I've personally tried cold calling and I've tried door knocking, and it just makes me severely uncomfortable, is what it is.
Hmm.
And I put myself in the shoes of those people that I'm calling and knocking on those doors. And I am also severely uncomfortable in their position. And so that's never my goal, is to make people or myself be in an uncomfortable situation. So for me personally, it just doesn't work. And I'm okay with that. A majority of my business, like I said, is referrals. That other portion, the thing that I do, and I preach is open houses. Open houses are a free and amazing way to just get out there, meet new people in neighborhoods. And yeah, I've closed actually a good amount of business from open house leads. And I think it comes from not being salesy. When people walk in my open house, I'm literally just welcome, take a look around, let me know if you have any questions. I'm inviting, I'm there to answer questions. I'm there to have like a friendly conversation. Sometimes people just want to talk about themselves and they just need someone to listen. I'm always there to do that. I mean, most of the times when I've met clients at open houses, we're not even talking about the house. We're
Hmm.
just chatting and trying to find commonality, um, and that's really, really what people are interested in, is just finding someone that they feel like they can trust and really like. And yeah, I try to be that person. But again, yeah, it's just like cold calling, door knocking, those traditional ways just aren't for me. I just get very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, and I understand that. I'm also not the biggest fan of it. I just wanted to leave a comment on even the work that you're doing on social media. Well, this is not going to be for you, but for any other agent listening, that of course social media works well when it comes to attracting business, right? Business coming directly towards you. But it
Yeah.
also helps you when you're generating business yourself, and your online presence is kind of like an authority checker behind you, right? Because imagine cold calling someone and you state your name and this is my brokerage, and then they go Google you, and your last picture was of your fish that you got in 2017, right? So it's like it's not going to work like that. So it doesn't even you're always going to need that online presence, and if it's a great one like Bailey, and even if you kind of put it together with these traditional techniques, like they can work, right? But
Yeah.
if you're lucky, as Bailey is, of almost 100% of it coming from social media, and then add a little open houses, I mean, you do have a. It seems like you enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah, and anyone can really get there. You just put in the time. I mean, the time that I maybe could be cold calling or door knocking, I put into social media. So it's really all
Exactly.
about how you divert your time, and that's what I choose to put my time into. If I'm not directly working with clients, I'm working on some realist or like, social media content. Um, and yeah, it's just it's good. I mean, every time someone looks me up, they see that I'm active and I have a good engagement rate, and everyone can get there. You just have to build it and start somewhere. Something that I love to tell my clients, and I've won several listings this way, is by saying my online presence is so strong that I do, in fact, get more views than Zillow and Redfin combined. And that in of itself is like game changing, because your
Yeah.
home will be on Zillow, it will be on Redfin, it's going to be on all those platforms. But on top of that, it's on my social media platforms, which gets way more exposure. Um, so I love to preach that, and it typically wins in, a listing
The pitch,
presentation
yeah.
period. Yes.
So yeah, and it's exactly on like adding value. Usually like
Exactly.
the listing presentation of a lot of agents is like, choose me because I'm the realtor that you're talking to, and you need a realtor to sell it,
When a
and
lot of it is, I'm the realtor that's been doing it for 30 years. And it just doesn't really win anymore, in my opinion. That's like,
no, no.
yeah. Mm-mm.
The even nowadays with all of the technology at our hand, right? And of course, like you offering your platform as almost like an extra Zillow to it, of course, is an additional value, and makes them think that of course their house is going to be out of the market as quick as possible.
Yeah.
So where do you see your business going next? What are your goals or projects that you're chasing, and even more important, where are you moving next year?
Right. No, I honestly have like this, like, I think I'm a nomad. But I love San Diego. I plan to stay. I typically do move, places to live often. I'm always kind of like moving. I like a switch up. But no, I'm staying in San Diego for the foreseeable future. I absolutely love it. I have big plans, big goals. Obviously, this is a very interesting year in the real estate market. And actually, this is my first year um, in the business for a presidential election. And I think that has a huge kind of way on what the market is doing right now. So, I'm always learning, and I'm always wanting to learn. And so it's been fun, and I've been having my best years. I mean, last year was my best year ever in the business, and this year I'm hoping to even top that. And I am on track to do so. So yeah, I think I have a lot of goals, and I mean, it just comes to showing up and what my everyday schedule looks like. Showing up every day, and it just pays off. So, um, yeah, I've been doing a lot of speaking. A lot of people come to me, about social media, and um, I just like to spread the word, like everyone should be using it. Everyone, it really makes you stand out. And even if everyone were on social media, everyone is so different, and everyone's content is so different. Everyone's lives are so different that um, it's never too. I mean, I know a lot of people say, but there's so many real estate agents online, but no one is you. So, that's why the power of showing who you are is even more prevalent, is because you want to stand out. So I would say, I mean, in terms of my goals, it's just to continue to show up and bring in higher numbers year after year, and just have a good time doing it, really is my big thing. I love having my personal time as well. So I'm not all about the hustle, hustle, hustle. I like a good work-life balance. As long as I'm successful and doing what I love, I'm happy.
Yeah, you need to be successful professionally and also successful personally.
Personally.
And yeah, Billy,
Yes.
thank you for showing us that moving cities does not mean that your career is over, and that social media is an option, a very 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 open option for your real estate business. If it's, I wouldn't call it an option. I'll call it mandatory, and people, they
Yeah.
need to realize that is the age that we're living, right? You need to put
Yeah.
yourself out there.
Yeah. And
Um,
if I had to like move again, and I just want to tell people, because
which
it
you
is a
don't, which
scary
you don't.
thing. I'm not. I'm not prefacing, but I mean, a lot of people are scared, and reasonably so. But if I were to move again, I mean, literally, my first thing is announce, announce, announce. I'm
Hmm.
moving. Here's where I'm moving to, and then immediately start just putting yourself out there on social media, and revolve your content about moving. I'm a real estate agent, and I just moved to this area. Here's what I'm doing to, get to know the city. I'm going to, 3 coffee shops a week and 2 restaurants a week. I'm going to this many events. Come along with me. And people love a storyline and to follow along for a journey. That's why series are really big and popular. So if you just really show your every move, people will be curious and want to follow along. So if you're moving to a new city, social media is the biggest thing. Know that city like the back of your hand, and you will succeed. I mean, it's just like those two things, social media and, knowing your city, are just going to be the biggest things.
I just had an idea for a good TV show for you, maybe in the future. So
Okay.
when Grant Cardone, he went to like just a random city with a mask and with a different name, and his goal was to hit 1 million in 30 days, something like that.
Yes,
So your show would be basically like moving to a different city at a specific time and always being able to sell 10 houses
I would
in the
do it.
first year, something like that.
I would do it. And I would love to honestly, like tell people like and show them exactly. I mean, that show would be pretty epic and I would watch it.
Yeah.
But just like, here's okay, I'm moving to a new city. I don't know a single person. I let someone random pick the city even.
Yeah,
I'm
I
yes,
they
that would
vote
be, I
you
mean,
like you go to the middle of Alaska or something.
uh, no, not Alaska. I'm not a cold girl. But no, I'd still sell it. I'd still sell it.
So you have to believe in it. You have to believe in it.
Sell the city. That's literally all you do.
All right. Bailey, thank you so much for coming on the Icons of Real Estate podcast. We had a great time. For everyone still listening, I bet you had a great time as well. And yeah, Bailey, tell us, how can we find you? How can agents go check out your Instagram and try to copy it? Just tell us your plugs.
Yeah, you can find me on all platforms, just my name, Bailey Tarr. And yeah, I mean, the reason I get so many content ideas is because I do intentional consumption time. And so, really, just save videos as inspo. If you see anything on my page, save it and, remake it, make it your own, add your own personal spin. Please use my content as inspiration and follow along. And if you're ever in San Diego, hit me up. And I love to network. So let's get coffee.
Awesome. Perfect, Bailey. All right. I'll leave you
Yes,
to
thank
your
you for
San Diego
having
day.
me.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
I
coming.
will. Thank you. It was good chatting with you.
Loved what you heard? Subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your fellow agents. It helps more agents find the show and tells us what you want more of. And hey, want to get featured on multiple podcasts like Icons or even find epic guests for your podcast? Check out The Hub, the ultimate guesting platform in real estate. Link in the description. Catch you next time. Keep crushing it out there.